Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video, bit of different video this time. We're going to be doing a spell trading guide in 2023, so hopefully this helps out the new people getting into trading, want to make some small but pretty decent profits, and I think spell trading is probably the way to go before you get to unusual trading. Quick disclaimer though guys, this is the first time I've done a trading guide video, so it might not be that great, but I will be improving in the future, so yeah. Also, I'm not that god tier of a trader, so I would just take this advice with a grain of salt and just know that I'm not an expert, or I didn't study for a PhD in TF2 trading. But I consider myself somewhat knowledgeable, but that doesn't really make me, the greatest financial advisor. But yeah, just, be careful out there, and I can't be responsible for all those financial decisions, I guess. And one last thing, guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to say that the trading series is going to be delayed because just haven't been making that many trades, but they have been higher quality compared to the other trades in the other videos. And I also want to say that the next trading video will be higher quality by a lot. The fourth video did not really meet my standards, and I think it's a little too late to re-upload it, but in the future I might re-upload it because the audio is really bad. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you really quick how to price check. So you want to find the item that is spelled. So I have a spelled cold killer. So obviously I would go to classifieds in my backpack or just search up the item. I would click the item and you might be like, oh well, where do I find the spells? Well, usually the spells in most scenarios are just on the last page of the item. The rarer the item, of course, it might just be on the first page. But, so near the last page of the item, I got page 7 here. Page 8 is probably the double spelled, yeah. This one's really nice, double spelled cold killer. But on page 7, we got chromatic corruption, another chromatic corruption, and then mine, spectrum. So yeah, that's just how you check for hats and miscs. Now if you want to check for weapons, for example, you might check the item and you're like, oh well, strange rocket launcher, pumpkin bombs going for 11 keys, so pumpkin bombs, rocket launchers, 11 keys pure. You would be right, but you need to also check for specialized kill streak and kill streak. So you type in specialized killstreak rocket launcher, you click the strange, I'll show that in a second, then you go to the last page, or at least near the last page, and you'll see they're going for pretty cheap actually. I think there was a pumpkin bomb somewhere around here, 11 keys, so for the same price you can get a spec KS rocket launcher for 11 keys, so you get a spec KS and pumpkin bombs. So yeah, this is a little overpriced here, and you just always gotta watch out for that, if the spec KS or the normal KS or pro KS has similar prices. But I'll show you really quick how to search that up. So you're just gonna type in, for example, professional killstreak rocket launcher, and it'll come up with a bunch of options. You'll just see the strange here. This seems about right. Just click strange and I'll show you all the listings. A pro killstreak rocket launcher, I don't know why it shows for 43 ref. I think that's just backpack.tf glitched out again. 27 keys, so rocket launcher pro killstreaks go for a lot. I think, yeah, pumpkin bombs for 42 keys, that's pretty insane actually. I think that's overpriced. I'm not sure. I would let's check so if it has a good kill streaker, I guess, but generally I would say you can't really judge it. It's kind of difficult. Maybe if it had tornado or something. It has incinerator. Might not be that bad, but yeah, just checking out the professional kill streak, the spec kill streak, and the normal version is always the smart thing to do. Also normal kill streak, didn't show that, but you can get it the same way just by typing it in and clicking the strange. But yeah, that's how you price check stranges, or spells. Alright guys, so starting off, when you just get into spell trading, you want to familiarize yourself with the market. So generally that ends up in you having to do some research in terms of going on Discord or asking people what the demand is on certain items, or simply doing the research yourself. I'm sure there's plenty of ways to do that, but I'll just be sharing my own experience with demand and supply of certain spells. So for example, let's say you have a spelled misc item, which can be paired with an unusual hat or something like that. And usually these miscs go for a lot more than hats would, or their demand's just much higher. If you see a spelled hat going for more, it's not that uncommon either. But the main thing you want to look out for is how large the spell paint region is. So for example, the Bruiser's bandana has a very large paint region, and a spelled item of that can go for a lot because it's also all class. But generally, deciding the price is what the current market is, but you should always try to put a fair price, because if you don't, your spelled item will most likely not sell. Now in terms of double spelled / weapon spells, I can't really say how the demand goes, but generally for like weapons you got the scatter gun and you got the rocket launcher that obviously have a high demand, as those are the more played classes. But I don't have much experience, so I can't say much, but it's always a good idea to look up on backpack.tf, spells.tf, all those places, see how the demand's going, and yeah. Now in terms of spelled weapons, I don't have a large amount of experience with them. However, I'll try to give a rough explanation on how they work, how their demand is, and stuff like that. Now in terms of exorcism, which is basically showing a little bit of ghosts upon you killing someone with the weapon, I think it's a decent spell. For higher tier weapons it usually sells for a lot more, but generally I would say this adds a few keys at most, as it's not that prominent and the demand isn't really that high unless it's a higher tier spelled item. Now, as for pumpkin bombs and Halloween fire, those have much more demand, at least in my experience, and usually sell pretty quickly. I had a pumpkin bombs festive black box that was strange, and that sold within 2 days for a quick profit for me. It's actually in the trading video if you guys want to check that out, link in disc. But anyways, I think Halloween fire is maybe a little less in demand, as it can only go for pyro, but generally those sell well. Now this is probably going to be the shortest segment in the video because, to be honest, I have almost no experience with spelled unusuals, but I have observed the market for a while now, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what they sell for, but just take my advice with a grain of salt, because once again I have no experience with them. Now for lower tier unusuals, I think a spell, to be honest, doesn't add that much. Of course it depends on the spell. If you got a double spelled god tier spell combo, obviously it adds a good amount, but I think generally what you want to look for are matching spells. So spells that match the unusual or the hat, either way. matching spells usually would increase the price by a good amount. If you just have a Voices fur blow on a decent unusual, usually it doesn't add too much. I wouldn't try to upsell it because you probably won't sell it for a long time if you do that. Now for higher tiers slash matching unusuals, I would say this ups the price by a good amount. The unusual just has to look somewhat decent, you know, maybe there's a market for it. Some guy sees it on the backpack.tf listings like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted, and it has a really nice spell. Usually those will sell a little bit faster, but just like strange unusuals, they take forever to sell, and I wouldn't count on you not holding on for it for like at least a month. So yeah. So overall guys, just watch out there, take a look at the market, you know, always use your instincts, try to, you know, take a gauge of the market, try to always ask for advice. But yeah, I mean, this was generally directed towards new slash beginner traders who are trying to make decent profit compared to just starting on painted miscs or something. But yeah. So before I end the video, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys that the TF2 trading video is going to be on delay as I haven't been able to get many trades, and trading at a 200 key mark, you're not going to get many trades because you only have a few unusuals to work with, but I'm hoping that'll change soon. I think once we get to higher tiers of backpack, I can start releasing these trade videos 1 week at a time pretty consistently, as long as I don't get unlucky. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.